What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Sensor Solid from Track. We are deep into new release season, so be sure you are subscribed to the channel, and while you're there, hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out on the next one. Track joins the Brands of Brunswick November release party with the all-new Sensor Solid. This one features that same fast-spinning and low differential regulator core that was featured in the original Sensor, but this time with the MR6 solid cover stock finished to 2000 grit out of the box. And notably, this is the same cover that was featured on the Legion Solid, which was a Track fan favorite, but is likely an updated version to keep up with today's oil conditions. For the layout, I went with the exact same layout I had on multiple Track cyborgs back in the day. This 4.5 by 5.5 by 3 2LS layout is one that I haven't used in quite some time, but I've had a lot of success with it in the past on symmetrical pieces. With the Sensor Solid presumably being a weaker solid, my hope was to get all the continuation I could out of it, but not worry about having to open up the lane with it. And on the lanes, this Sensor Solid gave me one of those reliable, simple shapes I've come to expect from Track. Even with the fresh cover on this ball, I was able to play pretty direct with it on this typical house shot and have a good look. As I moved in, I was able to find usable shapes with simple adjustments to hand position and ball speed. Even better, as I moved inside past the point I thought this piece would run out of gas, it was still able to go through the pins pretty assertively, a feature I rarely see out of low differential symmetrical solids like this one. But honestly, the simplicity of this piece is the best part about it. Just like its predecessor in the Legion Solid, it doesn't do anything that will make your jaw hit the floor or make the ball hop off the shelf and into your arsenal, but if you're able to get your ego out of the way and let your scores do the talking, the Sensor Solid is going to treat you pretty well. And sometimes your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. There will come a time, hopefully not early or often, but this ball will wear in and the shape will get pretty boring. The hope is that boring doesn't mean unreliable. Luckily, the last two orange solid symmetrical pieces I've had in the Idol Helios and the Verge Solid were also boring shapes, and all they needed to keep their reliability up was a 2000 Aberlon pad, and I'm guessing the Sensor Solid will be near identical in this way. When considering pairings for this low strength benchmark piece, I would start with a low strength pearl like the original Sensor or even the NV Tour Pearl, as typically if you're matched up with a solid, stepping down to the pearl is an easy move as transition sets in. To go along with both of those, I would want a versatile bigger piece like the Radical Outer Limits or Columbia 300 High Speed to be able to open up the lane as friction develops. It's a group of three that would work well in most league settings, but would have significant limitations when it comes to sport bowling. Moving to our Crossbrand comparisons, I first took a look at the Motive Venom Shock, and here you can see how the Sensor Solid is the more versatile piece, but the shock when used in the part of the lane that it matches up with is much more commanding through the pin deck. While both of these pieces are similar on paper, the results on the lane are very different, as the shock is much weaker through the mid lane and the Sensor is able to be used in more parts of the lane because of that added cover strength. Second, I grabbed the 900 Global Exponent, which seems to bridge the gap between the Venom Shock and this new Sensor Solid. My guess is that over time, the Sensor will look a lot like this one as lane shine develops. The Exponent looked great on this lane until it didn't and completely missed the head pin due to a struggle in dealing with carry down. And that's a struggle I almost always expect with pieces like this, which is why I would expect it with the Sensor after about 15 games, and why keeping a fresh 2000 on the cover might be the best choice for Track fans. And that leads me to my recommendations on the types of bowlers that I think would match up well with this piece. The first is the rev dominant league bowler. If your game is the spray and pray style with a rev rate above 450, the Sensor Solid would do you well as a game one of league kind of piece. It'll allow you to stay closer to the friction and avoid early over-under. The second is bowlers looking to build a strong arsenal for nationals. This one is on my personal short list currently to make the trip to Vegas, so if you're seeking a piece to break in before bowling on that hard stuff, this one is definitely worth considering. The all-new Sensor Solid from Track might not be the sexiest release of this November release party, but in the right hands and in the right part of the lane, you're sure to sense a solid rise in your scores. And you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure to use that discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thank you very much to Nick Pluff for the drilling of this piece, and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews, and as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.